Once upon a time there lived a beautiful princess named Sophie who lived in a grand castle surrounded by a lush green forest. She had everything her heart desired, except for one thing, a friend. You see, Princess Sophie was quite lonely, for her kingdom was so large that there were few children her age to play with. Each day, the princess would gaze out her tower window, wishing she had someone to talk to. Sometimes she would sneak away from the castle to explore the nearby village, hoping to make a friend. But the villagers would only bow nervously and scurry away, too intimidated by her royal status to play. This made Sophie's heart hurt. All she wanted was a true, caring friend. One sunny morning, Princess Sophie decided she simply could not bear the loneliness any longer. She had to find someone who would be her friend. Bravely she marched into the enchanted forest behind her castle, determined to make a new friend among the woodland creatures. She passed under tall, shady trees and pushed through thickets of wildflowers as she searched for any animal who might want to play. But the squirrels were too busy gathering nuts, the birds too occupied singing, and the deer too swift and shy. Just as Sophie was about to give up hope, she stumbled upon the most extraordinary sight. A beautiful unicorn lay sleeping in a sunlit meadow filled with soft grass and flowers. The unicorn had a pearly white coat that shone like diamonds, a flowing silvery mane, and a silver horn that twisted gracefully from his forehead. Princess Sophie drew in her breath. She had never seen such a magical creature before. She began to tiptoe quietly away, not wanting to disturb the unicorn's slumber. But the unicorn's eyes fluttered open, and he sat up swiftly. "Oh, please don't go," he cried in a gentle voice. "I've been so lonely here in the forest. Will you come play with me?" The princess clapped her hands in joy. At last, she had found someone who wanted to be her friend. From that day on, Sophie visited the unicorn, who said his name was Valor, every chance she could. They would spend hours frolicking in the meadow, prancing through the woods, and resting under the trees together. Valor told the princess wondrous secrets about the forest and showed her places she had never discovered before. In turn, Sophie told Valor all about her life in the castle. The two became inseparable, both overjoyed to have a friend at last. Until one morning, when Princess Sophie hurried out to the forest to meet Valor, she found the meadow empty. She called and called, but Valor did not appear. Sophie sadly turned back towards the castle, worried something might have happened to her dear friend. But later that day, the entire kingdom was shocked when Valor came trotting right into the castle courtyard with Sophie on his back. The princess announced that she wanted to make the unicorn her royal companion, to live in the castle where she could see him whenever she liked. Of course, the king and queen were quite surprised by this unusual request. But once they met Valor and saw how happy he made their daughter, they agreed she could keep him as her friend forevermore. From that day forward, Princess Sophie was never lonely again. And she and Valor lived happily ever after.